Pain heals. Chicks dig scars. Glory lasts forever.
Sweet mother of all that is good and pure, I do not know if professional sports will ever be the same, if professional sports will ever recover. I think this is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, and it may take time for a lot of the stuff to come out because there may be new investigations being launched. And of course, this one took a long time to get to where we are at this point. And I promise you, I am going to tie it into the WNBA for those that are wondering if if it is going to have that type of reach. I really think it might. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate all of your support. Shout out to the 19. Hope you all having a fantastic day. So I want to play this quick clip about just to kind of give you a summary about what has happened so far in terms of what is being prosecuted and and so forth. So we have, I believe this is the lady with the FBI summon this up. Check this out.
The first case, Operation Nothing But Bet, exposed a gambling ring built around professional basketball, where players and associates allegedly used inside information to manipulate prop bets on major sports betting platforms. They placed wagers on unders on players to score less, rebound less, assist less, using information that was not yet public. In some instances, players altered their performance or took themselves out of games to make sure that those bets paid out. One example occurred on March 23rd, 2023 in Charlotte. Terry Rozier, an NBA player now with the Miami Heat, but at the time playing for the Hornets, allegedly let others close to him know that he planned to leave the game early with a supposed injury. Using that information, members of the group placed more than $200,000 in wagers on his under statistics. Rozier exited the game after just 9 minutes, and those bets paid out, generating tens of thousands of dollars in profit. The proceeds were later delivered to his home, where the group counted their cash. The first case.
This is absolutely insane. And to think that it is limited to a couple of people. Now, this is obviously just about Terry Rozier. We also had the stuff going on with Chauncey Billups, which aren't even connected. They're different investigations, and I think you are going to get more and more of it. I want to go through a couple other things before I kind of give you my full thoughts on what is going on with all this in general and why this is such a problem. But because of this, right now there is actually fire to the fire. There isn't just smoke. So a lot of the things people have been talking about, they're going back to say, yeah, see, remember when we were saying this about this? And there may not actually be something there, but it sure has to be looked at a lot harder, and it puts a lot more credence to things when they say stuff like this, right? Remember that ridiculous, absurd trade that the Dallas Mavericks made, and their fans basically brought out the pitchforks for their general manager, right? How could you trade Luka away for Anthony Davis? It just makes no sense at all. An injury prone older guy and then what happened? The whole league is getting arrested for being a corrupt institution, and we're meant to believe that this happened by chance. The Dallas Mavericks ended up with the #1 pick in the draft, despite having almost no chance of getting that #1 pick. As you can see, they had a much, much better record. Folks, they were 2 games away, 2 wins away from finishing with a 500 record, and they ended up with the #1 pick in the draft. And there are my poor Sixers at 24-58, having getting the 3rd pick, and the Hornets 19 wins, the Jazz 17 wins, the Wizards 18 wins, and they do not get the #1 pick, but the Mavericks with 39 wins do, and they get Cooper Flag. And a lot of people are saying, hey, you know what? This was the league. This was the league's influence in order to help a favored franchise like the Los Angeles Lakers and a favored player like LeBron James. And now you look at it and say, well, hey, you know what? We know stuff is going on. And yes, I'm about to get to the WNBA as well, I promise. But check this out. This is Terry Rozier, folks. This is Terry Rozier playing basketball, or, trying to play basketball. I mean, what is those? Okay, those are two of the most insane plays I've ever seen. What is people are going to look at everything differently now. I mean, folks, this is all the same game. Do you understand what I'm saying? This is all the same game. Maybe Angel Reese isn't really bad at layups. I mean, maybe she's just lining her pocket in other ways. That's all I'm saying. Because Terry Rozier, hopefully you can see all this. The NBA might be clamping down on our ability to show these things with what's been going on. I don't know that they want the bad press, but as you can see, all in the same game. All of a sudden, Terry Rozier is no better than the sixth graders down the street, folks. I'm just saying, no better than the sixth graders down the street. And then this, I just want to show you. They're they're talking about this on ESPN, and then I've got the WNBA stuff I want to get to. But they are talking about this probe with gambling on the um, look at the bottom right-hand corner. Look at their ticker, folks. ESPN Bet. Bet $10, get 100. It is being sponsored by ESPN Bet. Hold on to that thought because I want to talk about the WNBA, and we're going to circle back to this real quick and talk about the problem that presents. Y'all remember this? I think I can go. Yeah. Do y'all remember this? This was what decided. This is what decided the WNBA championship in 2024. Brianna Stewart catches the ball 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, folks, you got officials looking right at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 steps, 7 steps or so. I mean, folks, th- I'm gonna just yeah, I am gonna go through one because look at the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. At least 6 steps before she even puts the ball on the floor. And instead, she gets a foul call that allows them to decide the game. You had which also was terrible. The foul call itself, the horrendous foul call. And then there was an unsuccessful challenge. The 85-step travel to begin with it all. Then you have the WNBA commissioner wearing a dress of the New York City skyline. And then there was the deleted tweet about it. The Visa Collier attempted 0 free throws. There was a 25-8 free throw advantage for the New York Liberty. So now all of this is going to be viewed through a very, very different lens. And if leagues do not, and NFL is in real trouble, if leagues do not upgrade their officiating, because here again, I say, it's very important to understand there are very, very difficult calls in sports that are going to go both ways. I've officiated the call block in basketball can be one of the trickiest, most difficult calls to make. And if you have to go super slow-mo and people are still debating, oh, well, maybe they're leaning it. I'm like, okay, whichever way they call, I'm good with it. But stuff like this, the Brianna Stewart play, folks, there is no possible way you do not call that travel unless there is some type of corruption in some way you were trying to influence the outcome of the game. I don't care how incompetent you are. If you got to the WNBA as an official, you can make that call. You chose not to for a reason. What that reason is, I don't know, but there's no way you just missed that call. And then the last thing I'm going to say about this is so important. If we go back to this with the ESPN bet thing, and I've said this before, no matter how it looks, you cannot have the professional sports leagues because of money getting in bed and the media as well, right? And how they report on certain things. How can you say that ESPN is going to be unbiased and objective and give you the stories they should give you when they have their own gambling sportsbook platform, right? You have LeBron James, and he's not the only one. Okay, so it's not a LeBron hater, but he's the one that comes to mind because I see him all the time. Getting paid as a spokesperson. He has an endorsement with a sportsbook company. Okay. You cannot do this. You cannot have sportsbook companies completely intertwined with the professional sports leagues, paying them as a customer. Obviously, this is not real, but I think it makes a very, very good point. The NBA is very concerned about the multiple arrests made as a result of the FBI's sports gambling code. Use code multiple arrests for a 30% profit boost on a 3-leg parlay with DraftKings, the official gambling partner of the NBA. Yeah, that's a problem. Look, man, if the NFL, the NBA, if they're serious about rooting this stuff out, and I don't think they are, or they might be now that the FBI has gotten involved and is making arrests. I don't think they were serious before. I think they were in on it. I think they were covering stuff up. That is my opinion. I think that's very clear. I think there's a lot of overwhelming circumstantial evidence to that, just like we saw with the play in the WNBA, that you cannot have a financial deal with sportsbook companies as a professional sports league. You simply cannot do it. And yet it's been done. It's intertwined. It is everywhere. You've got ESPN having its own sports book, and yet they're supposedly the journalists and reporters reporting on sports news of these companies. They are not going to give you those stories that damage their own sports book company. They simply aren't going to do it. The WNBA should be on the list of investigations as well. Some of the absolute worst officiating we have seen. I just played that play over and over and over again. That play determined the winner of the 2024 WNBA championship. Let that sink in. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Appreciate you checking out the video. As always, do me a favor, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Really do appreciate it. Go have the day you deserve. I will talk to you in another video.